Okay. Let's see. Let's turn on the. For skip. Okay. Just bought another 50K with your code yesterday. Let's go. Hopefully we can get them going today. Alright, let me start my ninja. Really gonna be executing more after the 10 a.m. close because I'm looking at the 4-hour here. We get a close on the 4-hour at 10. And if we can close not above this area, not above 09, even below here, that'll be telling me for lower prices. See, took out the low there. Another way of sort, yeah. Liking the video. I really appreciate it, guys. Yeah, let me just set up things. Okay, getting everything set up. Good, good. Four. We're going lower, yeah. We're looking for that 10 a.m. close. Damn, we're already smashing lowers. Let me just get this set up real quick. 40. I didn't want to see it smash lower yet, but we're trying to adjust then. Alright, I'm just setting my ninja. We just got on. Ready to rock and roll. Let me just connect my Apex account. Okay, good to go. So we got it. I'm looking at the hourly here. We're focused on this BPR and this hourly FVG, which we've been closing under, coming back up, and then holding. It's just like a lot of back and forth action right now. So the 5-minute strong wick above. And we do retrace back up. This is going to be more of a... Wow, there's lots of wick going on. I just want to see the 4-hour close. Ideally, if we can get closed in the next 10 minutes above or under this. If it's within it, we're just going to wait to see where it's going to head to next. Let's see. Took the low there too. So we're inside this 950 macro here. Oh no, it doesn't show time. There we go. Mm-hmm. 10 more minutes before we can really do anything.
Yo.
Yeah, what's up?
You said nice Judas in the morning.
Let me see. Did you post a picture?
Huh?
Did you post a picture? Let me see. I just got on the charts. I haven't been looking at anything since.
Oh, I was like wired in. I didn't post anything.
Are you looking at the Asia time when we took out like the external?
Yeah.
Like under 590s or 5090s? Yeah.
Like we're talking an hourly for Valley Gap too.
Mm-hmm.
And then a really nice rejection.
This is what I was going for basically last Friday. It was so clear to me where it's like we already took the highs on ES. We're going back to all-time highs. And once we fall down, my next objective, especially after the closure on the hourly FVG, it's just everything's just telling me to take out all these equal lows at 1592. We just didn't get that on Friday. We just kind of closed like within there, and really Asia time just swept it. So just going external to internal, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I really don't want to see us return back to all-time high. This based on looking at just the daily profile and the monthly profile. Let's just see that real quick. I kind of want to see us just close lower because we don't, with the power of 3, we just have open here. We have a high wick at 152 on NQ, and then we're just sitting like near the high end still. It feels like we do want to close lower, and like especially after a big consolidation day or a big expansion day. Where was it? The last few days with Nvidia, this does look like we're just gonna consolidate lower, and that high is gonna be protected for the rest of the month, which is only like 3 days. You didn't want to take the 5-minute unicorn to the downside. Let me check. Where would I see the entry? I mean, this is not bad at all. I'm just waiting for the 10 a.m. close right now. 10 a.m. close will give you the 4-hour candle closure. And then we can also see the hourly closure. And right now, like, you know, like we kind of worked the upside, we worked the downside. If we didn't like do both these sides, it's like seeking short right now. So this could really come back and reject, but I am not certain yet. I need more confirmation. But this short, I mean, if I take this short, let me just break on the 1 minute. It's gonna be a larger stop than I would want. Yeah, like let's just wait for 10 a.m. especially on a Monday, right? Today's Monday. There's not Tuesday or anything. Okay, yeah, it's a Monday. Monday is always a little iffy to trade for me. So you don't know how the rest of the week's gonna go yet. But let's just get going. This is a possibility to me right now. Yeah, so we'll delete some stuff here. How was everyone weekend or how was everyone week? Did everyone get a good recharge? Ready to tackle the markets again? We would need price to go back to 0.05. Price could drop to the 4-hour bullish FEG. 4-hour. After 10 a.m. Ready for a payout. I am gonna get some water and then we'll get going. 4 more minutes for 10 a.m. close. That's gonna be important to me. Okay, we're back on it. We're back on it. Let's go. Let's go. But like I think my bias overall, looking on the higher time frame, this high should be protected to me. It could come up. I could be wrong, but the next until the month close, I want to see that high protected, and we just consolidate. We don't necessarily have to retrace all the way down here, but I think we're just gonna keep on bouncing back and forth. That's what I have in my mind right now. NQ is so weak compared to ES. Let me see. But how many people got evals they are working on? Comment the firm and the account size. Let's just see which evals you guys are working with and which firm, what account size. I am right now, I have a few 150K. I have a lot of 50K Apex. And I think I have just a little bit elite still. Just using the Pogo just to pass them. We have ETFs, 100K static, Apex, 50K, Apex, My Fund Future. I also have the static from My Fund Futures. I haven't done It's hard for me to do a static because it's only 2 max sizing, and while I'm working with other accounts, I can't really copy trade them.
Static is fuck, man. I hate. Man, I never trade static.
Well, I like static just because, like, when you get, let's say you make a lot of money on it, you request the payout, you still have that wiggle room that static gives. But like unlike other accounts, they trail your stop to starting balance. To me, that's annoying. But static is like the real account you can get, really, because like you can make like 5K on it, like request it all, and then just request it basically dry back to starting balance. It's a fresh funded again. That's what I like about that, at least.
I think it's hard to pass those, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it depends on the firm. Like, Apex Static, they give you like $600 of drawdown. They want you to make $2,000. And same thing for payout. They want you to make $2,500 with $600 starting balance. All right, let's see if we can get close here. So the 4-hour printed inside this FEG here. We got a wick above failure, so I am leaning downward right now. Just make sure in the hourly, the same thing we rejected from this BPR. I saw in this hourly, we're probably going lower. I'm gonna look at this as the target here. That's the Asia lows. Question: I usually trade options, so I'm new to futures. Once one get funded with Apex, let's say the balance is at 7K, does one still can't lose more than 2.5K on a... No. Basically, if you're talking about 50K funded with 2.5K drawdown, once you get past 2.5K plus 100, so like 2.6K, the trailing stops following. So in your reference, if you have 7,000, you would just have $7,000 of wiggle room, and it will stop following. Like at the 52.6K mark, your liquidation would be at starting balance. So at 50,000 or 50,100. And anything you make more, you can make 10K on it. Like let's say if you run up to 60,000 on the 50K funded, you still have that 10,000 as wiggle room. And everything just locks basically at starting balance, at payout or at above that, drawdown profit target. Kind of this hourly here too.
See if it rejects here.
All right, let's see what we can work on here. Kind of have a BPR going here too. We're sharing this displacement.
That's kind of pathetic news.
Was there news?
I think so.
I think I have everything filtered. If it's not red folder, is it red folder news? Do you know that? Let me just check. I don't think I had anything set for Monday.
I had new home sales.
I think it's like orange or yellow folder. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to those.
I want to see a massive drop today.
Yeah. Well, it's a Monday too. I hope we can maneuver around Monday in a good note. Monday is always like so iffy to play around with. To me, at least, I would at least prefer Friday over Mondays.
I like using NWAG as targets for Mondays, as long as it's a good setup that presents itself.
Where do I even have that up right now?
It's a 961.
Oh, it's tiny, huh? Yeah. Okay. I typically look for the new daily gap or the new weekly gap like being large, but it's like NQ is like only like 1 point. I couldn't even see it. Yeah, we're just waiting right now. But yeah, it looks so far very search and showing price action, going back and forth. I'm just gonna wait for clear price action here. Can Friday high be drawn liquidity? I'll go look at the hourly for this. Let's see, Friday's high. If this is Friday's high you're talking about, which is basically all-time high, to me, I think it's protected. Just because February is going to close, and look at the monthly candle of the open close and high low. This looks like a high already. We just want to see that protected. And we had a strong rejection from there. The best the best tell you could do though, is looking at, let's say, ES here. ES is very clear. We have the high made on Thursday, and Friday we had like all these equal lows down here. Friday we swept it, pushing strongly past that, making a high at 51.23, and just immediately reversed lower. We're just bouncing around this equal lows, and then we could just see a very clear hourly FEG where it's a clear target and a clear point of interest where we will sweep all these hourly equal lows and just really push back up. So until we get a closure above 51.07, I would not even think about looking at Friday's extra liquidity. By protected highs, like if I'm looking at the monthly candle, let's just pull the monthly candle again. Let's just do an ES. We have the open here. We have a very low low made here, like basically 1 point lower, and with a high, and this is where we're starting to close. The candle closes in like I think 3 days. I don't want to see it higher than this. I think this is the high of the month already. This is what I'm thinking right now, and I would be wrong if we could get closure above 51.07. Then we could start moving up there. Just looking at the monthly candle though, that's what I'm seeing. But who knows? Who knows? It's been bullish literally all 3 months, 2 months. Let's see if we get a trade coming somewhere. But hourly just seems to hold the upside still. We're just bouncing from the hourly FEG. But also on the upside, we're getting held to move higher just from this hourly, Just we'll see if we do want to rotate back down. If we do rotate back down, these Asia lows is going to be the main point of interest here. I think we're approaching this 5 minute here. It's a very sliver of a chance, but it's still like a breaker here. If you can see this as your down close candle, consecutive down close candle, retrace back into it. If this is, let's just see what this looks like. Like the OT of it, which kind of like tapping equilibrium here, so we could possibly see something like that. This should be ES here. I'm not sure if I'm interested in going for this though, because it's just the midpoint of this balance range. But it is a possible setup here, which I'm anticipating to see like a rejection or a resistance holding price down here. Now we're at the equilibrium. If I look at the premium discount, let's mark it again. Premium discount, this is what we're looking at. We'll just see if there's a setup forming in this area. But ES has been strong, and we just swept the lows on both sides, so it's this fair game if we want to really just sweep the highs before just keep on bouncing back and forth.
Keep an eye on that 9:30 a.m. Inverted fair value gap.
9:30 a.m. Oh, that, yeah. There's a good one. Very good imbalance. I'll mark that with you, man. Okay. Still nothing clear on the day yet, just because it's such a shoy. And since the 950 candle, that's when I start looking to execute. It's been just taking both sides, so not the best thing you can really take trades from yet. But yeah, I'm anticipating a rejection in this 5-minute here, but we'll see. 8:30 doing short, 9:30 long now. Take sell side. I'm in long. If you're in long, that's good, because it's only good because we really took out all these lows here, and just knowing that we're in a seek and short price action. Just what have we been doing? If you see like how we're doing like this, we could tend to rotate back up. It doesn't have to take out the high, but it could at least go back to the premium before going lower at the bare minimum. But we'll see. We'll see. Still nothing clear to me yet. Does a Ninja Trader copier works if you execute trades through TradeView on your phone? Yeah. So your last question is what needs to happen. Does your Ninja Trader need to stay open? Yes, it does have to stay open for it to be connected. But the way to get around that is just using a VPS. If you have a VPS, it will always stay continuous on. VPS is just virtual. You have a virtual PC essentially, and you just log into Ninja Trader. You set that up, and it'll just be there on the interweb, on the virtual web, so with all your Ninja Trader parameters.
Interweb.
But just because you asked that, I really don't recommend too much of trading. So you're asking to rely on trading on your phone, right? And also trading a third party, which works well if you have it on site. So like you have a trading view on this side and Ninja Trader on the left side or right side of your screen, let's say. You have it both up. So in case anything happens, you can just, see it, you can focus on, you can close it out. But to have it trade on your phone, you don't know if it's gonna have an error somewhere. That's the part where it's sketchy to me. Oh, this should be a BPR or a breaker. So far this 5-minute breaker looks like it's getting rejected here. Did like a 15-minute drop from there, but still nothing actionable, nothing A+ yet. This could just be a retap back to the 1 minute for higher prices. For my experience, also, if I want to elaborate on this, my experience, if you're trading on your phone, it's not effective trading. Usually, it's like it's more freedom. It's more versatile and accessible. But like if I'm looking at like my whole trading career, trading on my phone, I think it's more negative than positive. Just because you're trading your phone, you're not really analyzing properly. You're not trading correctly or trading with a good system. And that's when I tend to eat some losses there. Just recklessly trading without like being patient on it, like on the desktop in my office, and just waiting for a price to come to my setups. Does anyone else have that experience? Or is that just me? Trading on my phone is just so bad for me. That's why I kind of like set that rule for me. Like that's one of my rules. Like there's a few rules. First is like don't trade the 9:30 price action. Wait till 9:45. Wait for 15 minutes after. Don't trade my phone. Don't try to trade Asia. For the most part, or don't even like just look at markets 24/7. Just focus on one session. It's just all these rules and disciplines gonna help you in the long run. Trading on your phone on a boat is the ultimate goal. That's where they post like large profits, but they neglect the fact that you're also taking massive losses trading your phone too. I'm monitoring the trades on my phone, execute on my desktop. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You're not trading completely on your phone, Glover. But if you're just trading completely on your phone, that's when it's like a red flag. Yeah, there's nothing's happening yet. We're just going back and forth.
Okay, I see like one draw liquidity at like 18,066.5.
18,066.5.
Like a bit of a price imbalance there, but then we also have more downside too, so it's kind of hard to tell.
I'm just gonna try to lean downside until the hourly flips on me. And I think ES is really trying to favor that downside move now. Let's see if we can get set up somewhere. If we can get a strong displacement through here, taking out this low, I'm going to probably consider this as a bearish breaker here, even though we didn't really sweep any liquidity, except this one above here. Let's just see if we get a strong sweep. You never want a breaker to have like a lot of consolidation, like we tip below and just consolidate, especially the 1 minute. The 1 minute is a red flag for those type of breakers. It's like more of like a C breaker or a low probability one. But that's why you also can just shift to the 5 minute and then can see the group of trades on the 1 minute. But let me just type this out here. We're gonna look at daily bias, intraday bias, and then low time frame bias, which is what we execute on. Let's do. Let me actually organize this a little bit. I'll just do hour. This should just give you a rough idea of what I'm looking at. Let me just save this actually. Bias. So I can't even switch charts. The daily is a little bit difficult. I'm not gonna probably say anything for the daily bias right now. In the 4 hour, it's kind of tough for me. That's why I'm gonna lean the 4 hour more. 4 hour, we're kind of neutral right now. Let me just do this. I'll just put neutral. It could be leaning upwards, but it could be flipping downwards. Neutral. Hourly, we're looking at right now. We're going backward. It's also neutral right now to me. Because we swept the lows down here. We swept the high, we pushing back the highs up here. We're just going back and forth. So right now, it's just also neutral for me. Both ways. And then we're looking at the 5 minute. I think everything's neutral for me. I think that's where I'm waiting for something. So this is where I'm going to try to implement more on my screen just to show that what I'm looking at, where I'm facing. But if I'm thinking like I said, if I'm thinking of the monthly chart, I think it's more likely downwards, just as my anticipation. Everything's just neutral to me right now. But I think after we got like another candle close and more price action, it's going to be more clear.
ES is wants to die. Man.
Yeah, it's a lot of divergence going on right now. Which is surprising. ES was so bullish this morning when we opened up. Check the 1 minute again. Yeah, so since we didn't get a good displacement here, I'm not really going to look at this down close candle. But I don't know. Any trades you guys are taking? I think someone said they were long somewhere, but I don't really see any clear setups for me right now. If you have any setups in mind, definitely comment it. We'll take a look at it. I'm taking a 3-minute if we inverse it. Let's take a look. This is good. But I really hate kind of flipping. Like, if you flip the 3, 4, and like 7, 8, like, I don't know. That seems disgusting to me. I would do 1 and 5. 2-minute if the 1 is choppy at best, but that's my limit for me. Does anyone feel that same way? Like when people like flip to the 4-minute chart or something like that? 3-minute, I guess, is more understandable in a little bit, but still, because if you don't see something on the 5, you don't see something on the 1, you don't see anything 2, why do you keep on flipping your thing until it works? But I'm just going to 3-minute just to show what the other guy was watching. Luke's watching here. So you're looking at a 3-minute close on this inversion, I'm assuming. After we swept this low, probably going for the high. I mean, would 2-minute not be better? 2-minute. No, I think 2-minute is better in this case. But yeah, I don't really operate just fully on inversion. Would you just enter on this closure above? 3-minute is more obvious. Yeah, that's fair. Like I'm not hating on it. I'm just like still like baffled by some strategies where I'm trying to like look into more. 2K long done. That's very nice. What was your entry and exit? And like what was the time that you took it in so we can look at the setup? I am fine with odd numbers. Even numbers I cannot. Let's see it. 1, 5. I guess 1 and 5 is odd numbers. But I don't know. The way that I operate in the 1, the 5. I look at the 15, the hourly, the 4 hours. Like the very common things when I break it down. So like this is how I break down hour daily, 4 hour daily. Intraday bias is usually hour. I could go to the 15-minute, and then low time for just 1 to 5. But I wouldn't add like 2. I wouldn't add 3. I wouldn't add 4. It'd just be 1 to 5. 2-minute is somewhat useful, and like if the 1 is so choppy, you know, you can always flip to the 2. Let me just take this off. You can flip to the 2 to like simplify it more. Let me see. But yeah, it's interesting. 1, 3, 5. The time split and 2, 4 makes me feel weird. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Like if you backtested it and you've been utilizing it, and that doesn't give you consistent data, very fair for that. 10, 11. Let me just see this long trade that this guy took. 10, 11. Let me see. 10, 11, 10, 11. So you're kind of like on the 1-minute FAG silver bullet. To me, I'll be more focused on this 1 minute. I think this is the last inefficiency. And it'll be an OT entry, but I guess it did play out. Oh, did that 3-minute trade work out? Let's see, 3-minute trade. So you would just enter long here, if you're just following that model, and just go for the highs, I guess. Go for these internals too. It's interesting, yeah. I'm not looking for anything right now here though. Just to me, nothing is very clear. Close. Something I don't know what you're saying there. Close breaker though. Yeah, this 5-minute breaker was just because like that's why I marked it in my straight, right? I marked the breaker. I marked the 5-minute FAG. I said it's a possibility, just because we are doing search and short price action, it's more likely just for price action to just keep on returning back and forth, back and forth. So having like a breaker play in the midpoint of the range, I don't think it's a good idea if you recognize the pattern and what happened already. So that's why I deterred from not taking that trade. But yeah, good engagement in the chat, guys. The ride 2-minute train. I don't know. Are you looking at anything? I'm just kind of setting sideliners right now. I'm waiting.
It looks like it wants to take out the high.
ES doesn't look like it does want to do anything. This is fairly in a neutral run for me right now. Where I think it's
Mondays are usually shit too.
what is it?
Mondays are usually pretty shit days to trade.
Yeah,
as well.
that's why I said. That's why I like kind of acknowledge go into the market day. It's like, okay, Monday is typically not the best day for me and for the markets because I have data of me trying to trade Mondays as well. It's not the best. I think Tuesday's the best. Thursday's the best. Like Thursday is always like where I have my big winning days. Because draw is very clear, the direction is very clear, and like we tend to have clear entries. Just because Tuesday and Thursday tend to mark the highs or lows. But yeah, when we start the week with Monday, we already kind of made the good move, which is if I'm looking at the good move or the clear move, the draw, which was lower, that 59.2 from external to internal into the hourly, sweeping all these relative equal lows. Once we made that move already, we're just probably gonna be back and forth chop until we find a direction, which I don't think we'll find one yet.
I'm kind of leaning towards 18.066 now.
But I think whatever that 3-minute entry, it seems like it's working, right? You're looking at a fill after a close here, like about 0.22, I guess. That's how it works. It's doing well now. I hope you took that trade, Luke. I think you're the one who said that. I got wicked. Ah, damn. Oh, you got wicked out, break even. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Those type of inversion plays really works out well when like it's very trendy, and to me it's easy to see the search joy price action and see it trending back up, probably to take out the high, and then it could just continue doing so, and that's the objective it's heading for. But yeah, just keep in mind, guys, not having a trade is not taking a loss. And if you're waiting patiently for the correct setup, the right setup, it's the best way to go at it. You can take like 5 trades already, and I might just take only one. And if I get one winner and you get like 3 wins, 2 losses, I would probably lean for that one trade instead. How does your coaching program work? I don't have a coaching program.
This is the coaching program.
Oh yeah, this is it. Just tell me all your problems and we'll work through it. But most people tend to have problems more on their patience and their discipline, and just kind of like how they are reckless in sticking with one kind of strategy. So let's say like you trade my strategy, like the breakers and all that, and it doesn't work well this month, but works phenomenally last few months. You might just that person might just look for a different strategy. They might look at inversion. They see inversions playing out so well since it's been trendy. It's like, okay, let's just do that. And then if the inversion doesn't work for a while, if it's very choppy, they keep on switching and switching. And that's where most people really falls in that trap of not being consistent. You can tell me all your life problems. Yeah, I probably have a solution to most people's life problem. What's a high probability setup for you? Is it being on the same sign as high time frame order flow and unicorn above or below midnight? So that's a good question. Yeah, essentially, I would always have to stay the same bias as the intraday. The daily could vary. If I've already have in my mind that the daily is gonna flip, which it hasn't flipped yet. It's more like, it's leaning bullish still, but it looks like it's gonna flip, but it hasn't yet. So that's why it's like more neutral, leaning upwards. But if I'm looking at shorts right now on the low time frame, I need to have the intraday bias, which is the hourly. I need to see it take liquidity. I need to see it aligned with my bias on the intraday bias, and that's just the main criteria. It doesn't work well if you go against your intraday bias. I wish I could unsee inversion because they always seem to work more times than the unicorn. I mean, it depends. Like, if you think inversion works much better, then you focus on inversion. That's fair. But to me, the unicorn industry model has just consistently gives a high win rate. As in, like, a high win rate is just anything above 50%. And let's say we go like 60, 70%. That's just knowing that we usually look for more than one RR. So combining that with, like, let's say we do like 1.5 RR per trade with a 65% win rate, that's a combo. That's already a nasty combo. Yeah, we're going lower here. But on top of that question that someone was asking about a high probability setup, it has to align with the intraday bias. If I'm executing the lower time frame, which I usually am, it gotta be hopefully a premium discount entry. So if I'm shorting, I look for a nice premium entry or OT entry. And then I need to see a energetic displacement. Displacement matters, which I'm gonna upload a video this week about that. Because if you get like kind of like like a clear setup like this, it doesn't really show well, but like let's just say it does that, and it comes back up to it. This is not as likely to me instead of just really having like a strong displacement down. And I can show that in the candles when I post the video and the educational content. And let's see if we can just find a good example of that. Example of that on the 5 minutes is probably the best. Like I guess we have the breaker here, right? On this consecutive down close candle, we sweep the high, we sweep the low, and once we made the low, we're just kind of chopping slowly down instead of just going one strong push. And we could find a setup probably with a energetic displacement instead. This is more like slow displacement, which is not high probability. Chosu said unicorn takes more time to build, therefore you have time to visualize setup, pick A+. Yep. So like every time I take a trade on live stream, I would tend to be able to call the trade out already. Like, okay, I'm looking at this long, and then 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, it might form that long. So you can easily anticipate it, but I feel like other trade models, it's more immediate, where like you need to see it happen real time and then enter on an impulse move. Those work, but it doesn't work with everyone. Displacement makes the world difference. I lost some trades last week because I bent my rules and took position when there was consolidation. Yeah, so when there's consolidation and just choppiness, even though we get a candle close under a breaker in the breaker forms, it doesn't mean it's a high quality breaker. And we're gonna wait for that. But yeah, we're only about like 40 minutes in right now. We haven't got a clear setup yet, in my opinion. Let me see. Slowick said a bearish breaker plus inversion. Let me see. Yeah. So also, keynote. I'm also gonna make a reference. This is a proper swing low. If this wick was lower, I don't think it'll be as proper on the 1 minute, especially. That's like something you have to test for yourself. But like, I'm just gonna make this example up here. you just notice how we did something like this, and we have like a swing low here, followed by 2 higher candles. But what if this candle, 1025 was lower, and we just closed above? This could just wick down and close above. This to me does not look like much of a proper swing low on the 1 minute. But let's just see. This is already pushing bad. But I just want to make that point because a lot of people confuse proper breaker setups with these type of things. This one works out, but like, let me just find a different one. There's probably somewhere like, I guess this one we have a swing low here on the candle. We have a lower low instead. So if you would follow the breaker, it would be more of this candle, but it's a green candle. It's a bullish candle. So it's not a proper one to me. Is this daily showing a bullish breaker on the NQ? Let's check the daily. I guess it actually would. But the problem is, this is a breaker here. Like we'll mark that just because it is solid. I'll mark it like this. Okay, I need to fix that. Show it only on the daily. And let's show it on the 4 hour too. Yeah, it's a bullish breaker, but look how large the FVG is. This doesn't really tell you much with the breaker or without the breaker. And I can't even do that. Okay. Let me just do this. This doesn't tell you much at all. But if you're looking at the daily solely, you know, like we took external out, we go back to internal, we could come back to external again. This is the right objective, and it really bounces strongly off of the breaker, the daily breaker. So maybe look for lower prices to go long than based on the... Yeah, I think that's where I'm going, Elisa. So even though like we have something going on the daily, it's just nothing executable. And it's also something like, yeah, it's bullish down here, but it could really just go down all the way to like 700, which is 400 point drop, 300 point drop. I'm just focused on the hourly right now. As long as the hourly is holding, I'm not going to try to do much. But yeah, we're just waiting to see if it does want to do anything. You can see ES is very clear. Like we go to this hourly FEG, we bounce to this hourly top FEG, just going back and forth in this range. And I haven't seen a clear setup to trade off of that yet. $10.29. What's that? $10.29. We're looking at $10.28. Is that what you're looking at? 1 minute FEG at $10.29. Unless it's ES, I don't know. I don't really see anything here.
That 9:30 open on ES is a go ball.
Oh yeah, it is.
If it breaks that, then this thing will just fucking shoot up.
I'm gonna just type this in the chat. Just maybe it will help people. Be content with no trades today if there's no setup. That's the best thing I could say today, because for me, I'm like really just, you know, like for testing this, I'm looking at real time. It just doesn't show proper setups to me. And if you look at like, let's say Twitter or other people's on Discord posting like big profits on a day that you don't see good execution on, you don't see quality setups, you just gotta really have the discipline to not be influenced by that. Because the moment you are, you're setting yourself up for failure. Because you're gonna be more like FOMO-ish and all these type of things, which you just want to focus on your trading style and what you want to do and what you're comfortable with.
Social media is so fucking toxic.
Yeah, you don't like. It's hard though. Like, unless you're executing live, it's very hard to believe like if you're a real trader or not, because if you don't know what they're doing, they can just only share their wins, neglect their losses. You can see on Twitter someone posts like a 50K profit, but did you see what happens days before that or days after that? You don't. What are you waiting on the hourly on? We're just kind of going back and forth. And while I want to see something going on, we just have a strong divergence. So like, NQ is trying to move upwards, ES is moving downwards. It's very tough to play for me, but I'm leaning downside right now. And if we can get a candle closure on ES on the hourly below the FEG here, while also meeting this price action, that means like, let's say like we get a candle close in this hourly, we have like 4 wicks attempting higher prices, which fails every time. That just makes me think prices will just head lower. So I'm waiting for more confirmation. There's a lot of divergence going on, and a lot of seeking short price going on. We just want clear direction. Yeah, it's stuck between 2 FEGs. If you can, if there was like a cleaner setup though, kind of on the low end here, to get us back to the midpoint of it, we would have taken that. But I mean, I guess the only setup maybe would have been this entry, which is a very slight tap. Cause said trade rate sucks. I have a break-even stop at 0.24 and close at 0.21. At least I got slipped. 3-point slip though. I don't know if you're doing demo or whatnot. I would honestly like to wait for Asia or let in lows, then try long. That's where I'm also thinking kind of like where price would head to. But I also have a draw kind of like all these lower highs here. Maybe we could just give a quick sweep and then really dive it down lower. This is a pretty strong possibility to me with the way price is moving. But let's just see if we can end the month on a strong note without taking a reckless trade. Because I think last week we had like we were 5-7. We took 2 losses, 5 wins, and those 5 wins were above 2 RR for everything. Setup will come. How much percentage you do last month? Percentage. What was the parameter percentage like? Oh, are you talking about wins and loss percentage? If that's the case, I think we have data on that. We have data since December and November and January. We can check on it. Let me just find it. Because we log all our trades, not so much in February, but the last 3 months we log every single trade, even when we got consecutive losses. Let me just find it. It's up here somewhere. It should be an announcement, I guess. It's all in the trade recaps though. Yeah, so this is our trade recaps for January. If we're looking at last month, it was a 72% win rate, which was a very good month for us. This month, however, February, I think we've been more sidelines. Yeah, like week 3 here, I think this was like 1-3. We had 2 losses. If I remember correctly, for February though, it was more tough. I think we had like 3 consecutive losses or something like that somewhere here. I don't know, somewhere. What about gains? I don't look at the number gains unless you look at total points. But yeah, all these data is real time though. That's the thing, and you can track them for yourself as well. You can actually go to all my live streams, the last 3 weeks, and just pile all the execution I did. But yeah, last week was good at least. I'm doing funded. Nicely done. Or it's very slow. We're just making kind of like all these lower, higher lows here. More so here. While ES is just making lower lows. It's quite a divergence going on here.
ES just wants to dump, on.
It does want to dump.
NQ just hanging in there. I think if we take out 1804. I want to see some kind of liquidity sweep before trying to short this.
Dr. Euro said, I just feel like I remember seeing you post in Discord, y'all doing like over 10% a month, which is fire. Maybe that was a long time ago because I think I stepped away from kind of talking about percentage gains. It's just more about total points. And I don't even talk about dollar value anymore. Because once I talk about, like, let's say, oh, last month I made $30,000. That really influenced what people think. And instead of that, I was just like, okay, this is the win rate based on every trade we took this month. You can see you could calculate the total number of points we collected. So it really applies to the individual rather than like kind of showcasing one person capitals. And that's also an initiative to kind of step away from trying to be like a frugal trader and just focus on purely trading. Because once you keep on like trying to advertise like, oh, I made all this much money, all these points and all these type of things, my win rate is this high, you're trying to advertising your services, which is good because you should also get paid for your time and effort. But the problem is it really influences your judgment. Like, you're just focused on satisfying the public rather than just trading. That's kind of my take on it. Yeah, I think this setup was probably the only entry probably would have taken. Is in the hourly point of interest. We could have looked at that more. Okay, close this off. My goal is 4% in the month. And sometimes I feel like I have a bad perception of what's realistic. Is a 10% month even realistic? Honestly, like, let me think about this because the answer would vary depending on the person and how aggressive you're risking. If you're talking about conservative traders, like even like a 3% month is already phenomenal. But like, let me just think about it. It just depends how much you're willing to risk. What do you base your percentage on? Your total capital or DD? I'm assuming he's talking about capital because if it's drawdown, if it's related to funded accounts, like it really throws you off. Because you could have multiple funded accounts, you could blow them, you could get payouts of them. When I think of funded, though, I really think of like how much did I pay for the total cost. That's like evals, the activation fees, and how much did I get payout. And I really try to aim to make like 5x of risk reward. So like let's say Top Step, I think I spent like 2,000-3,000 so far year to date, and I got like 20K in payouts already. So that's already like a 7 RR. Okay, I'm gonna take a bathroom break real quick and get some water. I'll be right back.
All right, guys, this is when the market's gonna move.
This is honestly what happens when I leave for like 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back and market is starting to move, I guess, on the yes.
That was pretty fast. What the hell?
I just went to get a water break.
Uh,
How long do you expect? Do you
I
want?
just, I just went to the bathroom or something.
Well, yeah, I just take a quick piss and just refilled my water and I'm back here.
That's efficiency right there.
I'm trying to not let the market move without me when I'm off screen. But let's check the 5 minute here.
We're in the macro timing now.
Yeah, we're in the macro
ES
time.
has broken another low.
I think NQ just willing to move price higher. That's why I'm like, if I'm looking at the 5 minute, this is what I'm anticipating. I'm looking for a move above 0.65s, and then if it do choose a reverse, and if it does reverse, I really think we take out Asia lows. But just because I anticipate that price could run to 865s, I don't think I see a very decent risk reward model here. But we're in the macro time. This BPR, this hourly BPR has been really holding it back here. Oh, it's less smooth highs here. I don't buy that. We don't run that first. Just respecting the hourly. See a wick of it. Which hourly are you talking about? You might be talking about this hourly here, but I'm kind of just gonna use this as a BPR more because we already filled this hourly FEG here. It just to me is a more of a retap back into it. Let's make a poll real quick. I just want to see what everyone's been doing since market open here. Let's do a poll just saying if you traded since New York opened. So far for me, it's a no. Nothing's really clear right now. The only thing was decent. I think we talked about already a few times was these wicks into this FAG after we were in this hourly. We swept these lows. Doesn't really give us a clean breaker setup though, but nor does it give a nice inversion here. Just studying the price action to see any good setup. Yeah, so that really, like, I'm just kind of gauging to see if people took their own trades or they just really rushed in some very poor breaker setups. I guess I'm looking at this more now. This is a decent breaker setup just because we already respected on the left side here. We don't need the liquidity to move. And I'll be looking at something like this. It's kind of like already happened though, but I'm looking at it more now, and it's a very clear FEG. That's probably why this FEG works so well. And I think that's a silver bullet trade too in that macro time. Yeah, I don't know. So something's drawn for this FEG now, and now I can see it here on the 1 minute. But it's not something we took, so it's fine. I think everything else has been pretty poor lately. This is open.
I mean, if you look at oil's been moving like crazy. The CLJ 2024 contract.
Yeah, it's a very clean premium discount too. This has been very solid.
I really wanted to take out freaking 1804.41.
We already took the lows on ES here. This is getting spicy. That's the new week open gap there. It's a very sliver of a gap. We have smooth highs on the upside now. Just don't see anything concrete yet. That looks like a 4 drive right there on ES. Don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take it.
Every drive lower is a potential entry. It would work eventually.
In the 5 minute looks like ass. Thank you. We're in the manipulation time now for the quarterly 3. So I want to see like a run up for a downside movement, or if we get a downside movement, then
For a run up.
movement.
Yeah.
So we just gotta watch out because we have 2 internal liquidities at 0.41.5 and No, 007.
Yeah, I'm also seeing the same thing. It could really go either ways. With the way it's moving, I thought it's gonna really run up higher to 066 area before going lower, but we might just be doing the opposite here. We might run lower, then sweep the highs.
I mean, remember, there's also a daily fair value gap at 946.5. And we bounced off that from the low.
Starting to break the trend line liquidity here. I'm considering a PM session live right now. Or we could just end it for Monday and we'll focus the rest of the week. It's still unclear to me right now. Monday's always been tough. I'm gonna say something in the chat. Give a like on stream, and we will consider a PM live stream if there's enough interest. At least last Friday's we did a stream last Friday for PM. We did AM and a PM. AM we had like a clean setup. We got like I think 10 points on ES. Then PM we also got a clean setup for 10 points on ES. Doing a 2-point stop on both of them. So I mean that really gives me hope that PM does give decent setups based on our previous experiences. I'm likely going to gauge if we do a PM live based on the interest and also the price action. Even though there's let's say there's like 200 people interested, I might not even consider it if I don't think price action is going to be favorable. Let's just see. This possibility right now. Gotta look at the 5 when the 1 minutes. We also bounced on the New Week gap here on ES. We took the lows, the New York AM low. Definitely could reverse already. We don't even need to really go down anymore. I want to see this high swept though. These highs here. We have these lower highs. I want them tagged out. What's the Apex event again? There's so many people talking about it. Is the 1 day fasting? I mean, you can still pass it in 1 day, right? And then just micro in and out for the rest of 6 days. The 1 day pass ends tomorrow. So what happened? The sale ended, and then they made another sale that's 80% off. Why is it only like 1 day though, or 1 day and 5 hours? That's interesting. I guess they want you to keep on trading to likely make you fail. There's a good number of people who haven't took a trade yet though, which is surprising, but I think that's respectable because I'm also in the same boat. Still rejecting off of this. Moving lower. We're at a good premium discount right now, though, on NQ. So many smooth highs here, but if we just move away from that, leave those smooth highs, those could be taken much later. It could be in March because we only have 3 days left, and we could just already be rotating lower. Is that a breaker on the hourly on the ES? Let's just see. I'm assuming you're looking at these consecutive down close candles, which it's very hard to see. I mean, you could kind of see it here when it retests back up, but it's not a very good one. Let's see on the 15 minute, we might see better. It's, to me, it's like on ES. If you're looking at ES solely, it's more of a sweep of these equal lows and supporting the hourly point of interest here, which is hourly FEG, and moving price back up. Yeah, we're moving lower. Not really a fan of this here. But yeah, keep in mind, this could leave these highs. We don't need to go for them, especially with the premium discount here. We're at premium still. And with ES kind of moving lower, let's just see YM. Is YM following suit with ES? YM is also moving lower. It's just difficult, guys. I meant from 7 a.m. to now. Okay. Maybe I was not looking right. You're looking at bearish breaker here. Yeah, this is valid. We're breaking on the 15 minute just to show it more clear. This is for sure valid here. If we do, did we reach that back? No, we didn't reach that. If it comes back up to 97, that'll be a valid higher time frame breaker. And even though we won't. I guess there's a gap here which you could consider. We also have inversion here if this closes under. Very interesting. Moving lower here. Still nothing yet. We already kind of identify that this is a trend line liquidity that it's going to look to take out, but we also have now smooth highs here. So now what does it want to do? We're back at the Asia range, essentially. We're approaching Asia range. We're at 559 and 2. This is where all the equal highs were taken out at, right? This hourly FEG is only like about 3-4 points away. You'll be more confident long if we can take out these Asia lows and then come back up. I'll be more confident, way more confident. My objective right now is just take out these Asia lows here. Oh, that was a good spike here. Let's see if we get something out of here. I am not against longs right now. I think longs is very appropriate here. This already became an inversion here. I would probably prefer a retap back and hold though. Not trusting anything here still. I think until the lows get taken first. This age of lows needs. Looks like what's beaming for. See if they support though. We could just take breathe this. So we already kind of holding from this breaker, which I marked previously. I marked this even though we didn't take this real time. We didn't take this execution. We marked this to see where price could hold. So the purple box is the hourly FEG. We see the hourly here. We just come back to the hourly. Wait, where did it? Was this the hourly? This might not be the hourly. Just delete that. The hourly's down here. But we have this FEG here. We have the breaker here. It's still holding it, so we're still bullish as long as we hold this breaker. Even though I didn't like the setup, just because ES is a little iffy, I want Asia lows to be taken. We're only like a few points away from it. This setup would have worked here. I would probably only go for the retap back end and looked for a very tight 10-point stop there. That was a missed opportunity on my part. I think it's just very difficult. If you don't have this breaker mark, this might not be a confident entry for you. It's holding midnight open. But I hope you guys can see that this is a pretty decent breaker here though. If you're looking at this as the high, we have the low here. We have high. Sweep the lows. We don't need to sweep all lows here. We already swept this low, which took out these relative equal lows. And we're within the hourly FEG. And closure above, just retracing back to the FEG here for higher prices. This breaker is still holding. Five minute. I want to see it run Asia lows though. Why are you looking at Dow Jones? I had Dow Jones or YM looking, but it's just because YM tend to have a lot of divergences that I really want to only focus on NQ and ES lately. I think that's been giving me more clean signals and not false SMTs. We already focused. If we're trading NQ, we're using ES kind of like as our guidance as well for divergences. But to have too many things, it's also a detriment. That's what kind of I knows lately. But there's times where YM will be like pushing all-time highs, and then NQ and ES is like moving lower. It's not the most reasonable thing. So we have a closure on ES under the FEG here, under this attempt lower. So this definitely looks like we want lower prices on ES at least. And this would kind of, let's get closure here already. Yeah, the divergence is really throwing me off here. Until we get under this FG on NQ, it's hard. Because it had this 11 a.m. close within here. I would think we rotate lower easily because all these wicks attempts here is just a failure to move higher. But does anyone have an idea where price is going? Because I really don't think I have the best idea right now. I wish I could say it, but I don't think I have a clean confirmation. That's why we might be looking for an AM session, guys, or a PM session. We'll see if we can get 75 likes, which I think we're like halfway there. We'll run a PM session live. That'll tell me there's enough interest for PM. Typically, there's not that many people that trade PM though. I think that 75 is a easy target. This is holding still. Another retap back in the version. The break is still holding. ES is also falling up. This is good. This is good for upside. We might look for a long here. We have a lot of equal highs here. Lots of smooth highs up here. This does look pretty good. We're really going back and forth, right? So this is now heading for higher to this hourly. And then if we keep moving, we might look for a Friday high. Hell with the midnight price. I opened very well. Have to give it that. The upside is looking good right now. I would not short this at all. Short only if we really take out these highs, which I marked in 5 minute. This is probably my draw here. These lower highs here on NQ, which is kind of above this. It's like a little bit above the BPR. I kind of want to just look for NQ long somewhere at 0.15 here in this 1 minute. I'd probably just stop under the inversion. It'll be a 10-point stop. It's kind of what I'm interested in right now. We already took these equal highs. Let's look at the hourly. This is where we're talking about, right, about the bearish breaker on the ES. This is still possibility, right? More so on the 15 minute because hourly hasn't gave that candle yet. But we're just at that bearish breaker. We're looking at this high, this low. It's there. That's the only thing like that is stopping me here. This should hold here though. I think if you look at any longs, I'll just put a stop under this FEG here, like 18,003. So if you look at this FEG long, if you look at this FEG long, but why do I feel a little shaky? Just consider this, like, let's just mark this. This is a very clear breaker here for me. If you look at the 15 minute, it doesn't look as good on the hourly, but on the 15 minute, it does look good. Oh shit. I don't trust this yet. The upside, I'm just kind of trying to say. We just kind of went back to here at the support on the midnight open and came back up to it, to this 15-minute breaker. I still trust this as long as this stop holds. This is holding still really nicely. We might have to just look for a long somewhere here. Let's take a look. This is still holding it down for me, man. I can't trust longs until this breaker ends first on the 15 and hourly. So that's why, like, I'm preaching this, right? We have the daily bias, which I look at the daily bias here. I would actually lean this bullish right now still until, let's just do this, bullish, neutral. It's like half for me right now. I'm leaning more bullish. If I'm looking at the intraday bias, which is right now here, the hourly, we're still bouncing back and forth. So it does not give me any information. And then the low time frame still doesn't give me information. We're just going back and forth. If we get an energetic move here, this is also forming a 1 minute breaker, which would coincide with a 15-minute breaker here. Sorry, here, 15 to hourly breaker here, which you can see here. We would just need a strong energetic move here, and I'll use this as our breaker entry. So I'm kind of doing these cautiously here. Even though I'm leaning a little bullish with these moves and we're tapping the breaker, I'm not going to short until the bullish narrative wipes away for me. So far, the short narrative is still playing out. So that's why I'm against longs right now. Getting good displacement here. I'm looking at short here now. This coincides. I think I'm going to try this just because it coincides with this hourly 15-minute breaker here. But the risk reward is not the best. Let's just take a look. 2.25. If we probably run this low, I'll probably tag it all the way to the bottom of it. Where the Asia lows are. Where's the Asia lows? 87. Yeah, I'll probably tag it under there. We already took out this low here too. I think this is worth a try. The risk reward is not the best. I'll just try with this. I'm gonna do a tight stop on it, which we can just do. Oh, let me see if I. Is it because I have my static on one of them? Let me make sure I have that. I think I do have one of my static. So I did 3 minis is higher than what's allowable. We'll just kind of take this target first, and then we'll see if we can run down here. So yeah, this is still holding for me. This 15 minute. Let's just see. Just still back at entry. It's not the cleanest though, but it just aligns with what I have on the 15 and hourly. So this is why I'm comfortable taking this right now. But the risk reward is not the greatest. We already took the low here. This would have been the easy target to put break-even stop as well. But if it doesn't like go where I want it, we'll just close it. We'll probably close it right when we get above this breaker for me. I'm just doing a 2-point stop on it too. It's very tight. Should put the stop right here. 2-point stop. Which I would like to close much earlier. If this is a fail already. London's about to close in about 2 minutes. Let's see. Just because it's tight risk reward, I'm gonna look to see if we can do break-even stop very soon. I don't like how NK is moving here either though. We're just back to break-even stop. Or we're back to entry, I mean. Very slow, sluggish here. Was up about 1 point, but kind of approaching against it now. Just a 2-point stop. Probably close at -1 here. If this is already violated. NQ is holding very well. Yeah, just because we took out this low here makes it more difficult for a good risk reward. But still aligns with what I'm looking at in the 15-minute here and the hourly. Might just take the 200 loss though. That's where the London closed here at 11:30. Let's see if we got candle close here. Might have to take the loss. Very tight stop anyways. Oh, that was fast. So -2 there. That was not the best setup, but it was worth a try to really go for the Asia lows. We'll just wait for a clear setup now. We'll log that trade in the books. Now I'm drawn to here if it does want to come back up to the breaker. Smaller losers compared to the winners who've been bagging. Yeah, it really doesn't bother me too much here. Because I was going for a Asia low sweep, so it was kind of like a 7-point target. But yeah, I think better move would have been to close at -1 point. I should have done that. Just moving very slow. Let's just see if we can find something at 5 here. Let me remove this execution for now. We'll just look for, see if we get something else. I went to battle with you. 2 points, nothing in scheme of things. And you're still holding this breaker. Why are you even trading? I think I was pretty disciplined the whole time though. It was a attempt for a short on the 1 minute because it aligned with the hourly here. And we already retraced back to it, rejected to it. It was more a continuation play for me to take out Asia lows, which is down here. And that's where I think we'll be more bullish there. But, you know, dude, it's -2 points. It was -300 for me. It's not that bad at all. If it was a winner, though, I'd be like, why didn't I add more? But yeah, just if you watched my stream previously, you know that I'll trade ES. When I trade ES, I'll do a very tight stop on it. It'll be like around 2-point stop. And if it's a winner, it'll go for like 7 points, 10 points. Yeah, this is where we're going to look to avoid market price here. If we hit to 12. Well, yeah, we have this trend line liquidity here, which has like a lot of smooth highs. That's where we're going to be watching. Still managing here. how could someone learn your strategy? What would you recommend learning? Um, I don't know if my educational content is catered towards completely newbies, but a good start would just go to the highlights, right? And then go on the Twitter. There's a few educational things like inversion with breakers. There's types of breakers, which I talk about. There's the unicorn with the BPR. And there's a few other things like examples and the unicorn model here, which I described in depth with the entry and criteria. That's a decent start. Now we're moving lower. We might look for a second entry. It looked like he might just tag me out before trying to attempt lower now. But honestly, the best way to learn, you really want to backtest on your own to get used to it, and then trade real markets, live markets. It could be demo, it could be real, or whatever it is. Still very choppy for me. Not confirmed which side. I'm still drawn to Asia lows though. If he wants to take that on Asia for ES. I don't have an Instagram. Maybe I do, but I don't utilize Instagram for my socials. If you're looking at someone on Instagram that's Brian Stong, that might be an imposter. That's that macro time ending there already. Yeah, it's a wide breaker range as well. Maybe you could look for a entry model more inside this hourly. So somewhere on here. This is what Dono posted. He did say he's looking for a manipulation rundown here. That's what it looks like is happening. ES is still just like very consolidating. But distributing up to the 066 area is the possibility that I'm going for as well. That's where the trendline liquidity is swept here. ES is still holding us back. There, we're approaching 12. This is likely going to distribute up higher. So I definitely like taking that -2 point for attempt lower. Since that failed, this looks like we're going for a sweep higher here now. Might have to just hop back on PM session, guys. We'll just run. We'll run the PM session live at starting at 1 p.m. Probably 1 to 15. There's not much to do here. We'll end the stream here. We'll come back at 1 p.m. guys. My closing note will be kind of to target this area, and then if it does reverse, I don't think it has any objective to come higher. It's a good tape reading session today, though. At least we were disciplined to the maximum. But I'll just end the stream here, guys. Yep. Appreciate your comments too, Eric.